How's it going, friends and family of the internet? Welcome to the Real AF TV podcast, the show about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes. I'm one of your hosts, Josh LaBaw.
And I'm the other guy, Tim Wagner, or other host. I don't know why I say other guy sometimes.
Fix it up. Keep
I'm
it
that
fresh
other
for
fella.
the listeners. I messed that one up a little bit. I kind of ran out of gas there. I forgot to take a breath before I did that one.
It's all right.
Oh, I also wanted to kick it off right away. I keep forgetting. I have to say this more. Every other week. We release every other week. Like, I keep forgetting. I would just roll right into the podcast. I'm like, oh yeah, God, I should really tell, like, hey, new people who are sharing this, the Real AF TV podcast drops every other week on Mondays. And then on our off week, we split the topics because we are Fishing and Random Take podcast. Fishing goes out on Wednesday. Random Take comes out on Friday. And then bam, Monday morning, we're back.
Bam.
With a brand new podcast.
That's right.
The reason why I wanted to bring that up is because we haven't been doing splits lately here over the holidays because of the way the episodes that we did, the holiday ones don't. And then last week we kicked off the new year with sort of a different kind of podcast, just flowed about itself. And so I was like, shit, I got to do that again. Remember, every other week we're on Spotify and iTunes and all that shit. Just subscribe to us and you'll pop up every other Monday.
That's right.
So, fishing. We're going to talk ice shanties, ice houses. Oh, there's so many. It's so weird. We'll get into words later.
So many options.
And the random take, what you listening to, music edition.
Ooh.
I'm ready. We haven't talked music. Has always been a big thing that connected us, Tim. And I was like, fuck, man, it's been like years since we actually talked about, like, what are we really listening to?
Yeah, dude. The answer is all sorts of shit.
For real. It really is. Which I think is probably one of the things that always bonded us is like, yeah, we've always had our love for hip hop and like that being like kind of our main music, but like everything.
Right. For sure. It's all over the board. Like, even back in the day when you're in high school, and everybody's like, oh, bro, you listen in sync? Just like, no. And then like the doors close and you're like, bye.
Quick, TRL's on, dude. I know NSYNC's gonna be in the top 2. Get that shit on.
If it's good music, it's good music. Now you got everybody from back in the high school that used to shit on it, acting like they like it on the dance floor, and you're just like, don't you come at me, you fucking poser.
You fucking poser. I've actually been listening to this shit forever.
Yeah, I had Justin Timberlake's poster on my wall. I didn't, but
right, I know. I get what you're saying, though. It's funny. All right, let's hit him with some fishing news right off the bat. That is what we do now. We just picked that up not too long ago. So hit us with a fishing news. This is old fishing news. This is fishing news we should have covered back in November.
When it was news, breaking news.
When it was still new news. But like it came up in my feed again and I was like, oh yeah. What the fuck, dude? We never talked about that. Mike Iconelli is back on the Bassmaster Tour.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what?
I don't know why I say it, but I'd like follow him on Instagram. And every time I see him, I say, it's like, I don't know why, but it's like Mike Iconelli.
Yeah.
And then I say like, Nickel. It's like, I don't know. It happened one day, and then every time I see him, I say it because it's just like, oh, Nickel.
Oh, that's pretty good. I was just like, what'd you say about nickels? Like,
you gotta be
did he
careful.
do something with like a 5 cent? Like, yeah, and you definitely have to be careful.
There's a couple letters away. If you screw it up,
you're in trouble.
Yeah, if I screw it up, you're never gonna know because we don't do a live podcast. And I'm gonna be like, Josh, got this
right there. 4-minute mark. You gotta get that one out of there. Slipped it. Anyways, I didn't know who Mike was, because I was never the fisher, and I can't, it was you and Sam, I think. I don't know. I think we were all just sitting around, me, you, and Sam, and I was never give up. And I'm just like,
give up.
And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And you're like, you don't know Mike Iconelli? And I'm like, no. And now I'm just like, oh, he is to fishing what Kevin Garnett is to basketball with anything is possible.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It's the same. Anything is possible. But his story, there's like, I know Garnett has his thing too, but Garnett was in the league forever, and Garnett just finally won the championship. And like, that's what Mike did too. But that was like right at the beginning of Mike's career.
Yeah.
And like his personal life wasn't awesome. And like he ended up like sleeping in his boat and stuff. It's in his book. It's kind of
really
intense, yeah. Where he was like at points almost like, I don't know if I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes and he pulls off that big win. So then it was like this moment of like self-doubt and shit's just not going right in his life. I think he just got a divorce.
Oh, okay.
And like everything was like kind of falling apart. And then fucking boom, just keep at it. Anything is possible. And then just his intensity. Just he just screaming.
Well, he must have, I can't imagine, because he's probably in such a low that when that happened, it was like all that emotion just like came out. Probably couldn't even really control it because he knew what just happened, and he had been having such a bad time leading up to it. I bet you he just
well, and it was like a sudden death thing or whatever. I can't remember if it was a sudden death thing or he knew he only had like 10 minutes left and he knew what the leaderboard looked like, but he knew like he just needed one fish, like one good fish.
One good one, yeah.
And then he caught that one good one. It wasn't even giant. That's the crazy part to me. Like, it's just a good fish. And he knew, like, that's enough. I can't believe it. Like
right. Yeah,
how
that's
confident
crazy.
he is too. There's no way I would have freaked out like that. I would have been like, oh my God, that might have been it. I might have just done it.
Right.
It could have been it.
And he just knew, like, as soon as he got his hand on it, he just knew.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the video now, of course. I've seen it many, many times. Because I also the reason why this came up is because I was reading an article that he had posted on his Twitter, or maybe it was even just a Twitter post or something. And he basically said something to the effect of like, you may not like what I've done for the sport or something like that. And I was like, what? Like, why? Because he brought energy and like excitement to it or something? I don't know.
Maybe.
Obviously he didn't go into any details there. But you know, he's got, was it B.A.S.S, right? Is that him?
Yes. Yep. B.A.S.S University, I believe, is his deal. I know. I haven't.
He's at least a co-founder. Oh, I remember. He's a co-founder, or he's at least a partial founder. He's not just doing it. It's not just him solo. Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, because I know that he's on there and he's like a big advocate for it, and like he's always pushing it on his Instagram and stuff.
Yep. But
I don't know. You know, I didn't know if he was the co-founder. I know that he puts all the information out there. Like, there's a bunch of stuff you can watch. I'm part of B.A.S.S University.
Sure.
I enjoy watching their stuff. Like, it's cool to listen to the pros talk about what they do and how they do stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found a couple on Twitter where they're just putting out these YouTube videos, even where a couple pros just put out YouTube videos, and I just retweet it and I go, that's why they're pro.
Yeah. The only thing
I'll just quote tweet it and be like, that's why this person is pro.
Right.
Just watch this video.
In case anybody at B.A.S.S University ever catches wind of this, the only thing I wish is that you had an audio only version, because I would listen to that shit while I was driving a lot, and I do sometimes on the way home, but I have to like have it actually open in a video. I can't. It doesn't play in the background.
Yeah, you can't lock your phone and then just leave it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
So I set it on the dash.
Yep.
And I let it play. But like, if I ever get in an accident, is that going to get me in trouble? I'm not actually watching it, but if you go and look at my phone, it's like you were just watching a video. Like,
right.
Well, I mean, yeah, my phone had a video playing. I wasn't watching it.
Right.
Because you don't need to watch it. I mean, some points, yeah, where they're just like, oh, I like to use this lure or whatever, but most of it's just audio.
Yeah. And you, someone and someone like you who's already quite the fisherman, learning more, you can kind of picture it in your head almost in a way, right? Like,
oh, for sure,
they're just
yeah.
describing it so well that you can figure it out.
Well, and very rarely do they say a lure that I don't know. So they'll like be like, "Oh, you like to use this lure," you know, and then they'll explain it, and I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. I get it. Like, I know
Right.
what that lure is, you know."
Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So anyways, yeah. So it's Bass U. I didn't mean to get on Bass U, but I'm obviously super interested. So, but yeah, like he got a new TV show that just came out.
Oh yeah, I saw
He
him.
was taking like other celebrities basically fishing, and then he would do his thing. They would do a day in their each respective thing. It's kind of how the concept was that I could see. I didn't have the channel to watch it, so I just was following him on Twitter while that was rolling out. But he's got his podcast, his TV shows. Like, he's got a lot going on. And basically he said that they considered, because he's talking about his whole team, right? Like, he's got like his family is around it. He's got like his family's always really involved. He's like, the people around me helped me make this decision. He when he announced it, I guess he's just like, I'm not just doing this, you know. It's not just me. And it's like, yeah, man, cool. But basically, this is a quote: "Spread the word and get more people to fish without tournament fishing." So he was just considering, can he do it? Like, is all that other stuff that he's already doing, is that already enough? Does he need to go back to tournament fishing? And basically, he just said, yeah, I don't want to retire yet. I still got wins in me, and I'm coming back.
Nice.
It's like, oh, sweet. Killer, dude. Because he qualified in the he got second in the 2021 BassPro.com Northern Opens, and that's how he got his invite back to the elite.
Okay.
He had been doing a ton of the kayak stuff.
Oh yeah.
And because again, I'm just mostly watching him from the outside on Twitter, and a little bit on his YouTube. So he was doing a lot of the kayak stuff, which I just learned Bass started doing that.
Yep.
Like B.A.S.S just started that. So I don't know if he was even on that circuit or if that was what he was doing, but he was doing a ton of kayak stuff. And I thought, maybe that's just what he's going to do now.
Right. Yeah. And dude, the kayak stuff is like, the kayaks are getting so dope out there, man. It's ridiculous how good.
It's crazy to see them.
How nice some of those are. But his I think he just got his first win not too long ago. Like, I think he did well, but he finally got like the first place
in kayaking.
And then I think that might have ignited a fuel, you know.
Yeah.
Where he's like, yes, I got the win. I you know, did it in something different, but I'd really like to go back to having 20 rods.
Right. I do wonder if the kayak, because that's why I brought it up too, is like, I wanted to see if you sort of had the same feelings. It's like, I wonder if that kayak fishing got him the itch again.
Yep.
And he was like, oh yeah, this tournament fishing thing, this is kind of what I do, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, he's a great entertainer. From all that I've seen too. He's
for sure
got his career established after tournament fishing.
And he's always been an entertainer his whole life. Before fishing, he was, oh gosh dang it, I can't remember what they called themselves. It was like a dance group from Jersey, and I can't think of it right now.
Oh, for real?
But like, he can break dance.
Oh, that's so funny, because now that explains a lot about why he was trying to. Why he made a joke around the Olympics time, where he was saying something like, well, if breakdancing's in, fishing should get in. And he came out in like old breakdance gear with the old boombox and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So he was being like serious. I thought he was just making a joke, but like.
Oh, he probably was making a joke. But
he was making a joke, but he was making like a serious joke, like a throwback joke.
Right. Yep.
That's
funny. For his fans that know, he was just like, yeah, bringing it back. Yeah. Because I remember in his book, he does some breakdancing, like at one of the weigh-ins or whatever, and he didn't I don't think he really wanted to, but somebody else like told him like, here's what you should do, and then he was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I should definitely do that. And so then he like breakdanced. So maybe that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Where like he brought some antics that were funner, and I don't know if there's just some old, you know, assholes that are just like, you don't dance on that stage. I don't know. I haven't heard
right.
I know
I
some
gotcha.
people aren't like his biggest fan because he's kind of like, you know, that loud, lot of energy guy.
Right.
But
That's
it's
what I was
like,
thinking. Is he's the out there
you
guy?
know, just because he's not your style doesn't mean you should be like, I don't like what he brings to the sport, and just like, well, then
Right.
outfish him and shut the fuck up. You know? And then
yeah, exactly. So yeah. Anyways, just some old news that we should have covered a long time ago. Just bringing it up, like, oh yeah, Ike's going to be fishing on Bassmaster again this year, so that'll be fun. Housekeeping. Monster Bass, patreon.com/realaftv. We'll talk about them at the break. And please, pod reviews. Reviews are on Shopify. Shopify. God damn it. Spotify.
Spotify. I gotta say that I was laughing because of how you brought up housekeeping. It was pretty like you just sounded like you were at the door. You're just like housekeeping, and then you went into it. I don't know if you intended on doing that, but that got me good.
Nope, I didn't, but I'm glad that that's the way it came out. But yeah, iTunes, Spotify, they have reviews up now. So we just want to try to encourage you guys, if you can, share with your friends and tell us the reviews, because that helps push the podcast to the top. Also, we're on Amazon Music, don't forget, but they don't have anything fancy like reviews up right now. All right, man, that's enough. You still got your little shot of whiskey? Let's get into the topic.
Yes.
Let's get into the fishing topic.
I have a shot.
You're going to take it? Are you going to shoot it?
I'm going to shoot it. It's not whiskey, but I'll shoot it, and I'll tell you what it is.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to do a little one.
It's a Viking shot as a toast to our shit season, but also we got coach is gone, GM's gone, offensive coordinator gone.
Oh, geez.
They clean house. So cheers to making some good decisions, hopefully.
Oh, mine's the little of the Japanese whiskey, the last of it.
Why is that Japanese whiskey? It's actually pretty good. I'm making some weird faces, but it's just because it's a little bit odd as a shot. I mixed it with stuff last time and it worked. But check this out. You ever heard of this? You know what I'm drinking? Jägermeister. But
what?
This.
Oh, yeah, dude. I've always wanted to try that.
Cold brew. Yeah. And it's not bad. It legitimately tastes like coffee, but it also has like that Jaeger
bite
licorice.
To it.
Yeah. Yep. Herbal liquor made with Arabic. How do you even say that word? Arabica coffee and a hint of cacao.
Okay.
So it's pretty good. And what I had it with was a cream liquor.
Oh.
You know, like an Irish
mixed
cream.
Together?
Yeah, like I made like mostly cream and then put that because I got that and I'm like, like I want to try this, but like, what do I drink it with? And I go, what goes with coffee? Cream, like instant cream.
Yes,
cream goes with coffee. So like, I'm just like, get cream liquor. And then I ended up getting 2 like gift boxes. I wasn't even trying to. I was just looking in the liquor store. This came with a cold brew like aluminum cup, and then the other one came with like a regular ceramic cup. It was I can't even remember what it was. It's some off-brand Irish cream. I was just looking for like the cheapest cream liquor they had, and the cheapest one they had came with a coffee mug. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay, enough of the booze stuff. Let's talk about ice houses, ice shanties, ice. I don't know what else. What else are they called?
I think that's pretty much it. Ice houses. Shanties. There's permanents and there's pop-ups. You know, there's different forms of houses. You know,
yeah. We call them ice house. I call it. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick before we get into the houses, I gotta show and tell. Yeah. Gotta get it through on the fishing segment. So I've never had a St. Croix rod before. You can afford to buy them when it's ice fishing because they're half the size, so they're half the price. So I bought a St. Croix rod, and then I just got this reel in the mail today. I ordered it, and I'm excited.
Oh, nice! Nice.
Yeah, it was supposed to come tomorrow, and it came today, and I'm like, oh, and I'm just
fuck
excited.
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah. So I've been super pumped on this brand, like the idea of it, and I haven't had any of it yet. So I'm excited to try it out. But it's Piscifun? I don't
Dude,
even know. But look at this reel and this rod.
that
Look at, you
thing
see that rod?
is sick.
Your
Yeah.
finger goes
What?
right there, so you're like touching the blank. So as you're jigging,
Dude.
and then that reel is like, looks like a chrome rim almost to me. Like you can get it in black and red or the chrome, and I'm just like, I'm a chrome kind of guy. But like this reel,
dude, that thing is sick. You got to go over to YouTube and look at the video. This thing is sick.
You got to go
You're
over to
listening to this on
YouTube.
the audio version.
Yeah, because I open it up immediately. I go to the box and I open it up, and I'm like, so fine, so fine, just it's a good looking reel. But yes, I'm super pumped to. I'll be putting some line on this tomorrow night, and then we'll see how things go. Might be trying it out this weekend. We had other plans, but my wife's not feeling great, and then my niece isn't feeling great. We were supposed to do something with the in-laws, and if nobody's feeling great, then I might go fishing.
Work it out.
Yeah, and then
hell yeah,
the other little whoopsie thing I gotta get out of the way is that we're talking about some ice houses made by a bunch of different manufacturers. One of them being Clam. I got this sweatshirt. If you go back to the Christmas episode, and we were talking the New Year's episode, because we were talking about what we got, and this was totally a Christmas present from my wife. And I was just like naming some things, and I'm like, I feel like I forgot something. And I'm like, oh yeah, my dope ass, ice fishing sweatshirt from my wife. Dude. Like, can't forget to say that. So I'm like, I gotta get a recall on. I can't think of the right word, but I gotta get a second chance on that one.
Like a bottle on that.
She didn't call me out on it. I realized it myself, and I'm like, I gotta say this before she hears that other one.
Right, because you're like, yes, I like it. So yeah, ice houses, I guess, because that's what I call them. Have you ever been?
Yeah, I always call them. No, I always call them ice houses, but then like when you talk to people that know, they're always like, what kind? So it's like, they're curious if you have a permanent, which is basically just a house, or a wheelhouse is what they call them, because they have basically their trailer built into the house, or, like a pop-up where you bring it out and you just set it up,
Yeah. So, we'll get into that for sure.
Sled, the like pull over ones or whatever, where it's like a sled and then it has the thing that just folds over too. So
yeah, and we'll get more into that for sure as we kind of go through like the brands and stuff like that. But like, dude, we've already talked about this. We always talk about it. Like, hobbies aren't cheap. Ice fishing is not cheap. Like,
no, it ain't.
$400+ for a, in quotes. I put 2-person in quotes because I don't know. Some of those times you look at those 2-person houses and you're like, fuck that, dude. I'm not going in there with 2 people.
Yeah, that's like one of the like $400 for. Well, I guess it all depends on what you're looking at too.
It does.
$400 like for like the sled style, you can get like $1,000 for a 2-person one, where it's like the sled and everything set up. Sure. You just pull it out.
This was on the low end. Like, I just found like, I mean, if you could find a $400 2-person one, you could find $1,000 2-person one.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. And those are just pop-ups. That's not permanent, Permanents are.
Yeah. So when you say permanent, you're talking about like a hard structure that has like 4 wooden walls at least. Somehow it is driven out onto the ice. You don't move this thing pretty much. That's why it's called a permanent. Like, you drop it in one spot and you leave it there, which you said in our last episode. You were like, I got to figure out why those people in those permanents are, because it makes total sense if you're in these more, that we'll get into later. If you're in these more portable ones, you can do what you do when you're fishing, and that's move around and try to find the fish. But what the fuck are these guys doing that are just dropping houses on the ice and walking away from it, or going out there every day, same spot? Like, what's that about?
I was also thinking about it after I said it, and they might not know what they're doing either. You know, like I've been fishing in the summer where I see
they're
people
there for the culture.
Yeah, I've been fishing in the summer where I see somebody in a weird ass spot, and I'm like, I don't think that guy knows what he's doing. And then you see him like pull up on the spot where you're at later, and he's like fishing like weird, you know, and you're just like, oh, he for sure doesn't know what he's doing, you know. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, I suppose that could be the same thing in the winter. These people are just like, you know, old men that are just like, I go 50 paces out from the tree that has the splinter that points to the north, and that's where I set it up, you know. And there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Right. That is the reason. That is the rhyme.
right.
So as I was looking up these houses, it was like, you know, you could get like a pack and play house, as I called it, for like $250.
Yeah.
And so it's like a one person, and if for those of you who don't have kids that are like, what's a pack and play? Is basically like a lawn chair, like a fold out lawn chair. You just jam it in a bag and that's it.
Yep.
And so you can get this, you get like a $250 pack and play house, as I called it. And then I looked at the weight, it's 30 pounds. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
You have to haul around that 30 pounds, including all your other gear. You probably got a heater with you. Maybe not at this point because you're a one person, smaller house. Like you could probably keep that house fairly well warm just by putting it over yourself. But like, shit, I don't know about you, man, but I think that's heavy.
Yeah, dude. It's like, it's not too bad depending on how they package it up. You know, like I have a sled to pull all my stuff in. So a lot of times I'll just throw it in there, but it's also, I was trying to look at the weight of mine. Mine's lighter than most. And I want to say mine's like 22 pounds or something.
Okay.
But it
oh, go ahead.
It has a big pack. Like it goes inside this big thing, you know, it's long. It's, you know, it's the height of the deal because it has like hard poles in it or whatever. And like you said, pack and play, like you take it out and it just like, you know, you're basically ready to go. But it has big like backpack straps, so I can put it on my back like a backpack. And then 20 pounds on a backpack isn't much.
No, you could haul that around, and then you got your hands free for the other gears too. Like some of these that I saw, it was like a side hold, like.
Oh
like
yeah,
like a bag with a fold-up chair in it, and I was kind of like, 30 pounds with that? Yeah, fuck that.
That would suck if you're trying to carry a 30-pound duffel bag. Like it's not duffel much bag, at first, but that's the way
to put it.
It depends on like what time of the year you're going out. You know, if you have like a sled that you could put everything on, and then you're pulling it with something, not a big deal at all. You know, but if you're trying to carry it out like a duffel bag and you're trying to walk out to your spot from the landing, wherever, you know, the boat landing is, because that's where parking is for the most part, that you're going to switch hands a lot on that walk.
A lot. You know? And how are you going to do that with all your extra gear too?
Right. But I have a sled. I have a big sled that I put everything in. Like they make big sleds for that stuff.
They make sleds for that stuff too, yeah.
Yeah. So I can throw it. It sits like over the top. It doesn't fit in it, but it sits on it well enough.
Right.
So
Yep. Okay. All right. Some interruptions. Some things got in the way. I lost my camera. Son of a bitch. Shit.
What are you gonna
keep this momentum going though? Let's get it going. Let's get it going again. Ice houses, ice shanties. You know what I thought of? I thought of it. Thought of it, man. Fish house, something like that. Those are the other phrases that I use. I was trying to think of like, I know there's more than just ice shanty and ice house.
Yeah, fish house is definitely one that I've heard. I haven't heard that in a while though. That's weird.
Yeah, isn't it feel weird?
Yeah.
To say fish house again and be like, oh yeah, what happened to the word fish house? Seems like it's been a minute. But the reason why because I saw it here in the doc as we're going through, you know, we were talking about how the weight and the cost and all this stuff. And then you were talking about your sled and I was like, oh yeah, okay, the sleds, right. Well, we'll get into the sleds again because we'll get into the brands. But there's fish house and spear house. Like that can be two totally different things, because sometimes the fish house is like these pull behind, it maybe even a permanent, depending on if you build it or whatever, but like the height, right? Like you have to have a certain height to a spear.
Yep.
And so that makes a difference.
Yeah, and it has to be completely, like, you can't let any light in.
Yeah, it has to be dark. Which, as I was doing research, I think a lot of these are both, or could be both. Like if you already have a taller house, I think a lot of these, and this is something that the listeners out there should do, is like, if you're going to do it, do even more research, because we're not going to get into that stuff here. But I think there's blackout windows. I think that a lot of these windows, they have blackout windows in them if you buy those taller houses right off the bat. So it could do both.
Right. Yeah, I think, well, for the most part, it depends on what your floor is set up like too. You know, if it's a taller pop up, that, you know, then it's whatever. I've never heard of anybody trying to spearfish in a pop up, but yeah, you got to make sure that you can open the floor up, because you can't spearfish in a little hole. You know, you can't fish in an auger hole. I don't even know how you do it. That's
exactly what I was waiting for you to say.
Yeah. I don't even know how you do it. I've never done it before. I don't know if you go out there, if they probably have some sort of a saw, you know.
I've heard of different things.
Yeah, I think you like start with an auger hole. You like drill your hole. And then I think I've seen saws before that they gone out there. I've heard people using chainsaws and shit too, but
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I've seen and heard about chainsaws before. I've never been out there and experienced it before, but I've seen it on, you know, shows, programming of sorts, whatever you want to say, like entertainment. Like I've seen it in video form for sure.
Yep.
I mean, the chainsaw thing. So anyways, yeah. So the fish house, like before we get into, like, you know, just like an ice house, like a pull behind, I want to talk about the sled, because the sled ice house combo thing is a real thing. And you said you have a sled that you bought to go along with all your stuff.
Yep.
And those aren't cheap either, right? Like did you get a real deal, like clam pull behind or something like that? Or
it's not made by Clam. It's a different, I can't remember what the brand is, but it's just a sled to put all your shit in, because they make ice houses that are like built onto that sled, and then mine is just a sled by itself. Those ice houses that are built onto the sled have like a whole, you know, metal structure, because your seats are right on those. So those are a lot different, and I think those sleds are, you know, a lot higher quality, because they gotta last. They can't break. You know, like mine shouldn't break in theory, but if mine does, I can just replace it. If that sled breaks, you're kind of fucked. Like it's a lot of work to switch it to a new one.
Right. Which we don't have to get straight into it, but like Clam, which not sponsored, by the way, Tim's just into it, has the hoodie.
Yeah. Well,
they sell their sleds. Man. Oh yeah, for sure. They make really good shit, and we'll obviously do that further. But the point that I'm trying to get here is, like, you said that sled with the ice house like built into it has to be super high quality. Well, that's what I was looking into, is like basically they would just sell these sleds on the side. So it's like, here's the same sled that we build our ice houses on. You can buy it too. But I get it. It's not like you went and bought a fucking sled from Target out of the kids section either.
Right. No,
but it's not that quality.
Yeah. Mine's definitely, mine's definitely like a deep, bigger sled made to hold your ice fish and shit. But it's not.
Right on.
It's not Clam. I don't have, I use like Clam lures, and I have Ice Armor is there. That's like my jacket and snow pants. But
nice.
Everything else I have is different brand. Like my ice house itself is Frable, which everybody.
Oh, I didn't even have that one on the list.
Yeah, everybody knows Frable though, because they're like the most famous like minnow bucket maker out there.
Are they the yellow topped minnow bucket with the white bottom and the black door?
Yep, that's Frable.
Absolutely the most famous minnow bucket on the market.
Yep.
No doubt there.
And I don't know if they've been making, I don't know if that's always been them, but they definitely make those. And they make a bunch of different ice fishing stuff. And then they started making like rods and reels and stuff now too. So they have a whole line of different stuff. But yeah, my house is a Frable Fortress, where it's got a kind of revolutionary design. Yeah, where the bottom kind of fans out. If you look into it, the bottom fans out, and it gives you more fishing area than one of its size. Plus, it's really tall, and I'm tall, so that's what I was looking for.
Yes,
some of them are only like 6 foot tall, and I'm 6'2". Right. So I'm like, well, I'd rather not be bending down constantly. So mine, I think, is like 80. I think mine's like 80 inches or 82 inches. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah. And so that's something that I wanted to talk to you about, because the houses that I looked into for this, it was clam, Eskimo, otter, and then I get into some ice castle and some permanent stuff like that. But like clam, Eskimo, otter, they're all making these cloth ones, like they're cloth pop-ups, right? I mean, that's kind of their main brand.
Yeah.
And it made me go, like I said, this at the beginning, this 400 plus was a 2-person in quotes, and clam has a lot of these pull behinds with the sleds, and there's a chair built in, and it's like, that seems like a 1-person sit down sort of situation. Like that's what they're building for. And so it seems short. And yes, I wanted to ask you, as a tall guy, like, how does, like, I don't know. It seems like a different situation. I'm not I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on the like sit down ice house situation.
Yeah.
But I've always thought like taller's got to be more convenient for you, right? Like these kind of littler ones, just
for sure. Yeah, like the sled ones are super nice in how they set up. You know, you pull them out, and then you just set it over. It's really nice for like moving spots. Like you can have a shelter set up and get yourself warm, or at least out of the wind, while you try a spot. And if it doesn't go your way, it's a lot easier to move. But it's definitely a pain in the ass. Like I've been in a lot of them where like I'm, you know, when I'm sitting, it's fine because I'm sitting, you know, but like every other time,
that's what it's designed for.
I'm bent. Yeah. All the other times I'm bent over walking, and I'm just like, man, this sucks. And I think like the lower, you know, catches the wind a little bit less, but if you put the anchors in, you know, then you don't have to worry about it, because you can screw the ice anchors in, and they make them where they attach to drills, like cordless drills and everything even too. I don't bring a cordless drill with me, but yeah, they do have versions where you can just like drill it in real quick, which is super handy for some of they have attachments that make your cordless drill an auger too. Like you can
make your attachments. It's
like the auger. Yeah, it's like a 6-inch the auger, and you can just put it to your cordless drill and use your cordless drill as an auger. But if you're going to do that, you have to have a nice drill. It says it right on the packaging that your drill has to do so much torque.
Right.
Like if you go to Walmart and they have their, you know, whatever the fuck the brand is now, it's called like Heart or something, and it's like the cheapest
fucking drill
you've ever. But like, you can't go out there and get like an $89 drill, and then I'll buy, you know, this $100 auger piece, and then I'll have a less than $200 auger. That drill isn't going to be able to handle it.
Right.
But that was a side note. Like if somebody has like a nice drill and they have that out there, and then you have the attachments to put in the anchors and stuff, that drill is just like putting in work.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. No kidding.
It's a tool that does all sorts of stuff for you.
Yeah. No, I wanted to ask about the ice anchors, because so these cloth ones that we're primarily continuing to talk about here are thick they're pieces of cloth that you basically drape over a structure, right? Like, isn't that the easiest way to put it? Is like you have these bars, or it's like a tent, except for it's thick as fuck.
Well, not really.
Okay.
It's kind of the same material as tent. Like,
Yeah.
you can get thermal ones, but for the most part, it's kind of like mine's the same thing as a tent almost.
Okay.
Because if you had thick fabric, that's where you're like really starting to talk about more weight, you know?
Oh, right.
So
Good
mine's
point.
not
Good point.
mine's the roof, the roof is insulated,
Mm.
but the rest of it isn't,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
and that just kind of helps like the heat, because you know heat rises, so
Right.
you insulate the top and it doesn't escape as much. And I haven't had any issues. I mean, I haven't been out, you know, last week it was like 22 below zero real temp. I
Right.
wasn't out there then. I haven't tried that yet,
Right.
but
Right.
but I've been out there, you know, like 5-10 degrees, and just having that thing up, just being out of the wind is a huge, just body heat alone
Right.
in there, like, makes it feel more comfortable. And then I have a space heater too, so
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying about the smaller ones earlier, is that like it's like a one person, you probably don't really need a heater as long as you can get yourself in there. That extra layer, you know, you're already in your fucking winter gear, so then all you got to do is throw a tent over yourself to get out of the wind, and you've got a pretty warm thing there. Like, people who aren't out in Minnesota, and please, if you're not from Minnesota and you're hearing this, like, go to the comments and let us know, because I want to talk to people who don't get it, because that's part of the back to the ice auger thing, is like, ice is super durable. It's rock hard water. You can,
it's crazy how much weight you can hold on. Yeah.
And that
It's
drilling of the anchors to get the house into the you literally anchor it into the ice.
yeah.
It's just, I think people, and you know, you have to drill holes into the ice, and it's durable. You're not breaking it. It's like drilling through a piece of wood. It's like putting a hole in a floor. It's not gonna just shatter out and
for sure.
and you know, explode, and you're gonna fall through the ice. Like, it's durable.
Yeah, no, if anything, it might, you know, like if it's a decent day and the sun's hitting your anchor and it heats up that metal hot enough so it's not to freezing temperature anymore, and it, you know, kind of makes everything wet, and then it gets cold, then it's like sturdier than having it in wood, because now it refroze and it went from being just into the ice to now it's like part of the ice. The ice
Just
is just
fused
like
to be
ours
one.
now. Yes. This is mine.
Oh, that's a
But
really good way of looking at it.
you can get it out, but
Right,
yeah.
of course.
But yeah, if you're from a different state, you're not aware. Like, I don't know if you ever seen that Ice Road Truckers show. Like, they're legitimately driving 18-wheelers on ice. Like, it can, it's crazy durable.
Yeah.
If it's on a river, it's a little bit different situation when the water underneath it's moving.
Right.
But when on a lake, when the water underneath it is stable, then, you know, it's
stable
just a
as
matter
well.
of how thick it is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
They all tell you. Yep, they say it all over the place. Ice is never 100% safe, and it's always because there's like weird pockets and stuff, and you got to pay attention to the warning signs, because some of the shorelines have aerators or whatever going, and then it doesn't let it freeze over. So there's certain spots, even though it's cold as hell and the rest of the lake has 15 inches of ice, there's still spots that you can fall through just walking on it.
Yeah,
but,
and those are almost always well marked when you're talking about the aerators and stuff like that. It is always well marked, because they're put in there by DNR, local officials, someone, like, people know they're there, and so they purposely go out and make an effort to be like, don't fucking fall through here. We did some shit over the summer, and like, it's doing a thing.
Right. Yep. They'll put signs out way before you get to the thin ice that say caution thin ice. So Plus, most of the time, like, you're not the first person driving on the ice. I'm never the first person driving on the ice. I'm not fucking with that.
Oh, okay, man. Another technical hiccup, and we're back.
These interwebs,
okay,
man,
so
it's just like,
yeah,
what?
I know, seriously.
Who even knows?
We've had such good luck, so I guess we can't complain too much. We've done, almost 50 episodes now, and we're hitting one bad one. Like, okay, like, we'll take it, I guess, but son of a bitch. Okay, so we were talking about the ice anchors and the screwing in and all that stuff, and that fun and how the ice gets crazy. But the fabric, how you said on yours specifically, it goes out more.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean it's kind of like it's skinnier at the top and wider at the bottom?
It is,
just generally speaking.
Yeah, it is a little bit skinnier at the top and then wider at the bottom, but it's not a lot skinnier than others. It's actually, it's like, I don't know how they measure it, but the dimensions are all the same. It's like, how they, when they measure it, they give you the height, the width, and the, what the fuck would the other one be?
Depth is the only thing that I can think of.
That's what it is. So it's the height, width, and depth, because some of them are like 2 houses in one. You can buy like a double.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like 2 squares right next to each other where there's an opening in the middle.
Oh.
So
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it'll give you those dimensions. And mine is like, I want to say it's like 82 inches, and it's like 82 high by 82 wide by 82 long. But the bottom definitely fans out more than the top. Like, it's got plenty of space, but how it fans out, and it kind of, where other houses are like the 4 sides, so you got 4 corners. Mine is like an octagon.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
okay.
It's kind of a smaller, it's not a
UFC ring.
Yeah. So but it's kind of weird. It has 4 sides, but then it has like 8 points. It's hard to explain if you ever check it out. Yeah. And the way that fans out, instead of having that square, it's cutting out, an extra like foot. So basically I have space to put stuff all the way around. And the way it works out is that 2 of the counters actually, or 2 of the corners, 2 of the main points have fabric, or it's like nylon material, whatever you want to call it, but it actually is like above the ice, so I can put stuff on there that I want to keep dry. It's not sitting like right on the snow or the ice.
Oh, sweet.
Sweet. So it's pretty cool like that. And then I can put stuff on in those corners and the other corners, and you can literally, like, all of the floor is fishable because you have that space to put your stuff wherever you want.
Right.
So that one, that one, I would say I could comfortably fish 3 people, and it says it's like a 4-person setup. Where if you had,
and you'd feel comfortable with the 3.
Yeah, and if you have the same dimensions in another one, where they're not normally that big anyways, like if you can get bigger than that. They make bigger than that, and I've seen some really nice ones. Like, there's some pop-ups that are, Clam does make some dope ones, but like you were talking about, you're talking about price. I think I got mine from Omnia. Shout out to Omnia Fishing. They had like a Black Friday sale.
Oh yeah.
On this specific ice house, and I think I got it for like, I don't even remember, just over $200 or something.
Nice.
Yes.
For a 3-person.
Yeah. 4-person, which 3-person is like,
4-person. Right.
You can easily,
you're just, the 3-person, right. Yeah, that's why I was saying earlier, like the 2-person is in quotes to me.
Oh yeah, it's just like jet skis, dude. But it's the numbering on them is a joke. Where they're like, it's a 2-person jet
You're like,
ski.
yeah, you could ram 2 people on there.
Yeah, exactly. Where it says 2-person jet ski, and I'm sitting on the seat, and I'm like, where is the other person supposed to go? Like, how big are these 2 people?
I don't understand. Right. What is this, fucking 2 12-year-olds? This is weird.
Right.
So So I wanted to talk about like the ice anchor part. So some of these, so they only have like 4 corners that kind of pop out, and then you just drill them in and whatever, they're anchored down. But then there's others got these ice skirts or snow skirts, they're called.
Oh yeah,
where it kind of like fans out over the top, and I guess you can pack snow on top of it to try to like insulate more.
Yeah, yep. I think
I think that's the point,
yeah, I
right?
think almost all of those have it. Yeah, you just put the snow on there, and then it just like stops the wind from getting down. And
Like it stops the wind from just blowing in underneath the house,
yep,
which is huge. Like if you've never been on the ice, it's just wide open space, obviously. Wind is always ripping across that in the winter time. Like that's I just saw that and I was like, "Oh, of course that's a thing." I didn't even think about it, but like what a big deal when it comes to like the thermals of this.
yeah,
Like such a small thing to think about, but such a big deal when it comes to temperature control inside that house. Like,
yeah. Even on like those foldovers or whatever they call, like I forget what the exact term is, but when you fold them down,
mm-hmm.
those even have the flaps, so you put it down and then you can shovel snow onto it real quick to stop the
Nice,
wind from
nice,
coming in. My
nice.
brother-in-law actually, I'm sure you got the idea from somebody else, but has like a big um chain, like a real thick, heavy duty, big gauge, like
Oh,
chain link chain.
like just like a heavy towing chain or something.
Yes, yep, yep. And then he just puts that on there.
Nice,
Yeah, which
nice. That's a fucking good idea.
yeah, it's not a bad idea. Again, with the whole metal thing, like
But the
if
weight.
there's some snow and it melts and then it like freezes, that chain might
Mm.
freeze to the
Mm-hmm.
fabric.
Right.
So
And
I
speaking of
didn't
the
ask him if he
fabric, you
ever had
said yours
problems.
is like a oh, sure. Yeah. I know what you're saying though. But the fabric, so you said like yours is like, I don't know, they're just tents. Like mine's probably like a tent. But then as I'm looking these up, I'm looking up clam and Eskimo and stuff like this. And it's like they have thermal fabrics on a lot of these and they're
Yeah.
patented. Like they don't fuck around, dude. They patent
No, yeah.
that fabric.
Yep. Yeah, they're like squares. So they're still, cuz they want the thermal stuff to like
Mm-hmm.
stay in place. It get all fucked up, I'm sure, if you just put a thermal sheet in there and tried to sew it. So it's like a bunch of squares. It's like
Mm-hmm.
like a 4x4 or 5x5 like square like filled with stuff, and there's a bunch of
Okay.
them, and that's like all the thermals.
Oh,
So they're like,
really?
yeah, and that adds weight, which is not a big deal,
Sure.
but and it adds price.
But
Another
it can
reason
be.
didn't get
Right.
the thermal definitely is
Right.
like
Right.
almost always they're like almost twice as much. It's like here's your
Yeah.
regular one for
Right.
300, the thermal 600.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That makes total sense. As I was looking these up, dude, it was really cool. So I don't know what was the name of your brand again? I forgot.
Frabel.
Frabel.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know where they're from, but do you know?
Minnesota, I think. I think it's a
Okay, yeah.
Minnesota company.
Looking these up. So Clam is right out of Rogers there, not too far.
I
That's right
drive by it
in
every day.
between us.
That's right
Yeah.
on
Eskimo.
94. Yep.
Yeah. Eskimo's out of Wisconsin. Otter, Maple Lake, Ice Castle. If you don't know Ice Castle, but so these three, Otter Outdoors, Eskimo, Clam, they're the big ones. Like you just Google like Ice House, Ice Shanty, whatever, and Ice Fishing House. And those are like the three that really pop to the top quick. At least if you Google it in Minnesota, those are the three that pop up. But I'm just like, yeah, of course, why wouldn't we? Like,
Right.
this is, what else is going to be Canada? Like, of course. And then Ice Castle, these motherfuckers are RVs basically that just lower to the ground.
Yeah.
Is Minnesota like
Yeah. It's
Minnesota and Wisconsin? That's where you get your ice houses from. Like they're the ones who own all the ice houses or run all the ice house companies. It was just crazy to see.
right. Yeah. For the most part, man, that's exactly what it is. And, it's, they have ice in other states, but I think they have a way smaller window than we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it's just not marketable in most of those states where they
Right.
focus on the summer stuff because they're like, it's probably like school for them. They view themselves as like teachers. You know,
they take 3 months
here's
off
our
from
summer
fishing, right?
vacation. You know, yeah, yeah. We just take the 3 months off, and we'll be back.
Right. We get like
I
5 or
was trying to
6
look where
of ice.
Frable is located.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of thought you might be, but
Yeah,
I just wanted to throw that out there because they're so close. I mean, I didn't get the exact location of Eskimo. I just didn't go into it. But you know Eskimo because they're the big red cloth houses that are out there. So you've seen them. If you don't know it, if you don't know the brand just off the top of your head, you've definitely seen it. Also,
yeah,
they didn't do much of the sled thing. That was the one thing that I sort of noticed. Is like Eskimo, they make really nice houses. They seem taller. They seemed more like they were cloth, right? But they didn't do the sled so much. But it's kind of like
yeah,
Clam and Otter. They really were pretty much sleds. Like you got a sled, you got a chair, you got some cloth to throw over yourself.
yeah. Otter. That's who I got. That's the sled I have.
Oh yeah, the Otter Outdoors.
I
Yep.
think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's. I think it's an Otter sled.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
the Frable is from Wisconsin.
Oh, they are out of Wisconsin too. See, so there you go. We got one of each.
Yep.
Now,
Yep. So
before
we're all right here.
before we wrap up ice houses, I want to, because again, Ice Castle. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of these. Anybody out there, listeners, if you haven't heard, just Google Ice Castle. They're fucking RVs. In fact, if you go to their website and you look far enough, they literally have an RV, a fifth wheel RV that lowers to the ground so you can ice fish out of it. Like, dude, it blew my mind.
Like that you drive?
Like I when I say a fifth wheel RV, I'm talking about like this was such a big RV that you needed that special like horse trailer hitch in the back of your dually truck to pull this
Oh,
ice house around.
yeah. Well, I think RV is you
Oh,
have to drive it itself.
I get what you're saying. I'm
Yeah.
saying RV. I don't mean RV. I mean like a camping trailer. Your RV
Yeah,
means
like a big
recreational
camper. Yep.
vehicle. You're right. I'm saying that wrong. They're trailers. They're still just trailers.
Right. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah,
But they are, yeah,
campers.
big old camper trailers.
Yeah,
Like,
camper trailers.
yeah,
Thank you.
they have I've yeah, there's quite a few dual axle ones that I see all over the place. You got to wait quite a bit when you're talking two axles,
Right.
you know? Like
Good point. Good point.
that's the same thing with like a boat. Yeah, when I see a boat going down the side of the road and it has like a single axle,
Mm-hmm.
like my dad's is an 18-foot boat with a 150 horse motor, single axle.
Right.
I see a dual axle on a boat. I'm like, God damn, this is a big ass boat, you know? And it's the same thing with the ice house. You see a dual axle, you're like, Jesus, I don't think I've ever seen a fifth wheel in real life. But yeah, it's basically the semi,
Yeah. There you go.
the hookup. You
Yeah.
know, that big old thing in the back of the bed of the truck. It takes up the whole bed of the truck.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And then
dove
it
deep enough into the
hooks
Ice
on
Castle
there.
website. I saw one of those like as an option, and I'm just like, holy shit. That thing's
Yeah, I don't know if
crazy.
it's Ice Castle, but my brother-in-law has a permanent like that. And they have, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
some of them have manual crank where it's like a winch style where you can
Mm.
lower the whole thing lowers down.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
Yeah.
wheels
The reels
will just
retract
kind of like
into the
rotate
building
underneath the
almost.
thing. Yep, yep, and then it just sits right on the ice.
Yep.
And some of the nice ones are powered. You just like drive up and hit a button and it's like it's got hydraulics. It's
Is
not
it even a
it's
permanent
a
at that
motor,
point
you know, it's
anymore?
not hydraulics, but
No, I know what you mean. But is it even a
not
permanent?
really.
Yeah, that's what
You
I'm
know, you
saying.
could yeah. You could just hit a button and drive off. Yeah,
Right.
it'd be pretty easy to move that one.
Even though it's fucking
But
huge.
yeah, dude, that's what you get though when you spend money. It just everything
Mm-hmm.
on all aspects. That's why it can get so expensive because the more money you spend, in my view of almost everything fishing, whether it's ice or not, the more money you spend, the more convenient shit gets. And
Oh,
that's a lot of it is that you're
yeah,
just paying for convenience.
for
Like I could
sure.
use a shitty rod and reel to fish, but I'm spending more money because the nice rod and reel is more convenient for
Mm-hmm.
that. It does exactly what I want it to do, and it
Right.
makes it
Yep.
easier. I'm not struggling.
It behaves, it
And that's the
performs,
same
it
thing.
like
Like,
has so many different things. We've talked about reels and
yeah,
we've talked about rods specifically too. It's just like all these different feels and flexes and all this stuff. It just makes it easier and more convenient to fish. It's the same with these ice houses. It's like the more money you spend, it's like, yeah, clam is a really fucking nice fish house. You can spend $400 and get a decent pull behind sled with one chair in it or two chairs in it and nice cloth. Or you could also do the same pull behind thing and end up spending $1,200 and it seats like 6 people and it's still got its sled and everything like that. But then if you spend
yep,
$6,000, you could get a trailer. It's just like it, it
right.
has the same portability
And
almost
there's
being a trailer as it does being a
right. Well,
sled,
there's
but you need the vehicle. Like there's just a lot of goes into it.
yeah, I mean, like the ultimate for me, like if I had the money and I wanted to set up, I sent you a picture of it. You get one of those like flop, fold over houses, so you can just move, and those you can get like the metal tongue on it, like a trailer almost,
Oh,
that'll hook up to like a four wheeler or a snowmobile.
right, right.
So then you just drive your snowmobile. A lot of those snowmobiles have mounts where they have like the GPS unit
Yep,
like right in between the steering wheel. So you're driving, you got your lake map, you get to where you want to go,
yep.
you stop, you go back, you drill a hole, you check stuff out. You're like, oh, yeah, this is where I want to be. You set up shop and then you fish there for a little while. And if
Hmm.
it doesn't quite, seem to be where you want to go,
Hmm.
then you just keep driving.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit off topic too, but when I'm talking about like convenience with everything, like we've talked before about like the live target and
Yep.
Garmin has,
Yeah.
I think, is live target, and then they
Hmm.
have different versions for the other ones where it's showing you an almost instantaneous like feed of what it's seeing directly in front of it, and it's directional, so it's showing you like you can the
Yeah.
bigger fish, you can almost see the fish, like like not just that it's like a blob that looks like a fish, that you can see, like I can tell you what kind of fish that is.
Right, right,
And
right.
just by looking at it, it's insane. And uh because of that direction, these running and gunning type dudes, when they're fishing for crappies or whatever, they'll drill a bunch of holes in like a big circle, and you can put that down and you can aim it around. And when you find a school, you can see a
Hmm.
school,
Hmm.
then oh, I gotta go that direction. And you just literally walk towards the hole that you drilled that's
Oh,
over in
right,
that direction.
right.
And you're just eliminating all this dead water, and you're moving around. And those guys,
Hmm.
like, what's a snowmobile? 10
Hmm.
grand. And then your ice house, you got a nice flip
Yep.
over things like $2,000. And then that live target is like $3,000. And then the auger that's set up with the mount on your
Right,
snowmobile, and then you
right.
start adding all that stuff in, and it's like 20 grand later, you have a real dope, where you're running
And
and
it's
gunning.
not.
And I'm like,
No, go ahead.
yeah, I spent like $500 total, and I pull out a fucking sled, and I sit in one spot because I'm like, oh, I'm not really catching much here, but I really don't want to
Right,
move
right.
again.
Exactly. And you said all of that stuff and it's like, or you could buy one ice castle and hook it to your truck that you hopefully already own, and it's not nearly as mobile as you said, and it won't cover as much water as you just said. And
Right.
like that's the part about the permanence is, as we kind of wrap up here, things is like
And
these permanents, they're harder to move, they're harder to go. If you had an ideal situation, it wouldn't be a permanent, would it? Like, isn't that what you just said?
no, ideal is like snowmobile and the sled, because not only is it's not easier to get it to the lake because you still have to put like your snowmobile on
Right.
the trailer and stuff, but I can use that setup to fish ice way before I can fish a permanent.
Mm.
I need way less ice to
Just
go
so
out
much lighter.
with a
It's
snowmobile
just so
and a
much
sled.
lighter and like, yeah.
Yeah, way
Hmm.
way
Hmm.
lighter.
And would it be
because you park your truck at the landing and then you take your snowmobile.
Right. Yeah. With a permanent, you need your truck. And so also that would allow you to fish earlier and later, right?
Yeah.
It just extends the ice season a lot.
Even if the ice, right. Yeah, exactly. Because even if the ice is thick, it's like beginning of March, you got to get it off. Like that's the rules.
Right.
You hit March and the permanents come off the ice, because any day it could be like, yeah, it's like, oh, it's like 70 today. And you're like, oh shit.
Really well, even with all our technical hiccups and
snowmobile,
what the fuck else.
I forgot what it was.
I think let's just wrap it up before we hit another bad glitch, which we might have already done. But we're
wrap it up. I did hear a little like you were gone and then you came back as I was talking. Right. So I don't know if that got a little bit convoluted for the listeners, but yeah, I was just saying that, you know, I think it's like 6 inches for a snowmobile, and I think you need to have like 10 for a truck. I think it's like 4 for a person, 6 for a snowmobile, and like 8 or 10 for a truck. And that's for 1,500 like size truck. You know, when you get to fifth wheel size, I don't know. Do you live like in the coldest parts of Canada to make that worth it?
All right, man. Yeah, let's just wrap it up then before we hit another technical glitch. Let's hope that this worked out, and we'll try to sort things out a little bit more for the random take, a little more better for the random take, where we are going to talk about what you're listening to, what we're listening to. We're just going to talk about music because it's been a fucking minute, man.
It's been a minute. We got to talk about music. I can't wait, man.
I know. Me neither. I'm excited. All right. Let's hit the break.
Whoa.
Tim, let's talk about Monster Bass. We are a little bit affiliated with Monster Bass. If you go to realaf.tv/Monster Bass, that will actually help out the podcast. If you use it, what it does is you go to realaf.tv/Monster Bass and it'll shoot you actually over to Monster Bass. It just lets them know that we sent you. Tim, you love this shit. Tell the people what Monster Bass is.
Man, it is the best. Monster Bass is they've figured out how to just give you all the best stuff at a lower price, and it's all surprise. You don't know what you're going to get, but it's always good quality shit, and it's so awesome. It comes in the mail, and it's just like, you ever seen in, was it Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
No, not Happy Gilmore. What's the other one?
Billy Madison.
Where he's Billy Madison. It's like Nudie Magazine Day. You know, you're just excited to go to the mailbox. It's just like, oh, it's here. It's here. You know, you're running down there, you rip it open, and you get to go through all your lures. It's fantastic. I like to save mine to go through all my stuff with my nephew, to just be like, what do we get? And like, you know, he likes to open up Pokemon cards and show me what he gets. That's cool. I like to open up this and show him the new lures I get. And we're both jazzed on both of them, just going back and forth and stuff. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
It is the gift that keeps on giving. So, you know, if you didn't get it for him for Christmas, and he was sad probably, or she was sad, you know, the fisherman, the fisher lady, the fisher person in your life didn't get that from you for Christmas. They're probably sad. Maybe you don't celebrate Christmas.
Didn't get it for the holidays. Just
for the holidays. Yeah. If you didn't get them that, they're probably bummed out. But guess what? Valentine's Day's coming up. And what better way to show them that you love them than getting them something that's going to give them a gift that keeps on giving and giving and giving. And there's so much other good stuff. And another thing, they have like VIP, like a text chain that they get. It's one of my favorite text chains. I got friends that'll text me and stuff, and I love hearing from them. Second best, Monster Bass. Monster Bass would be like, free bait Fridays, and I'm like, huh?
Oh,
you know what? What is? Oh, jeez, sweet, dude. Buzz bait, they're free buzz bait. I get, and
nice.
They'll like hit you up with like deals all the time, like buy one get one free, whatever. Their deals are phenomenal. They're not just the mystery boxes that come in bags, which I've talked about before, but they're all these other like great lures, and it's
nice,
fantastic deals, man. I don't know how they pull it off. I can't get those prices at my local shops.
Right.
Sorry, mom and pop shops.
But every once in a while, you gotta go hit up Monster Bass. So yeah,
I would love to support local shops, but you don't get the deals they got, and I don't have the funds to.
Right, and help support us by going to realaf.tv/monsterbass, and it'll just shoot you over there and let them know that we sent you, and it'll help support the podcast. So it's realaf.tv/monsterbass. It'll get you over there. You can check out all that cool stuff that Tim just talked about, and you can also help us out because they know we sent you. Second sponsors ourselves. Patreon.com/RealAFTV. 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 That's the marketing rule. I've said it before, and I just wanted to be obnoxious, hoping that it's not too obnoxious, because we're not normally like that. If you made it this far in the podcast, you already know that. But we have a Patreon page. We have 7 tiers-ish of different things that you can join us in being a part of, as in like you can help us build something with it. Yep, it's a subscription, but you can be there for just a month too. Like Tim, at the $50 tier, we have our real tackle box.
Yeah.
If someone joins for 1 month at $50, what's the big thing that we push on that real tackle box?
You're gonna get hooked up with a hand-painted lure.
Yeah.
Is what you're gonna get.
Yeah. You don't have to stay there. That's the thing, right? Is like, come, give us the $50 for 1 month, get your hand-painted lure, and then go down to the $1 tier, the $3 tier. It is flexible. But the whole goal is that we get you to stick around, because even at the $1 tier, we're going to give you behind-the-scenes updates. And in the $3 tier, we're going to start putting up a poll for the random take. Literally there'll be a podcast where you voted the topic on.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah. So please, you can get there by even visiting the website, realaf.tv. You'll see the Patreon link right there at the top. Click on it. It'll head over there. So if you don't know what Patreon is, but you know somebody who's used it before, go talk to them. It's a really cool service. It really helps us out because this is a way to directly fund the podcast and the other ambitions that we have, like more video. Check out the last podcast, the 2022 goals video. It's coming.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Real AF TV podcast, the show about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes. We got sort of jostled around there in the fishing part, Tim.
Yeah.
I think we're
technical difficulties.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit thrown at us, and we even had trouble getting this one going, and hopefully my video feed's back. People who've been watching the show regularly since we put up the video feed are going to notice that, hey, look at it. It's a whole new location. Yeah. Shit got really jostled around, and hopefully we're running okay.
Yeah, right. Shit got weird.
Yeah.
Over on my side, not so much.
We lost your video feed at some point too in that first half, and I don't even know where.
Very true, but like things haven't changed over on my side as far as everything goes because I don't touch shit.
Oh,
like,
right. Yeah.
This is all set up, and then when I'm done recording, I walk away and it stays exactly like it was.
Right.
Since the day proof in the pudding. Here's some wrapping paper from our Christmas special.
So as soon as I leave, it's all there, no
matter
matter what.
As soon as I leave, yep.
Garbage.
And wrapping paper ain't hurting nobody. It's garbage, but it ain't gross garbage, you know?
Yeah, it's not empty whiskey bottles. It's all fine. Just hanging out.
Full ones too. more or less. I don't have a lot of empty whiskey bottles. That's kind of a side note, but like I can't remember the last time I finished a bottle. I feel like I'm just in that stage of life. I used to buy a bottle and I'd be like, I'm drinking this whole thing, and now I buy a bottle and I'll drink a little bit out of it one night, and then I'll be like kind of bored with that one.
I'm gonna pick another one up on the ride home, and
just like I totally understand why people have liquor cabinets. When I was young, I'm like, how do you have a liquor cabinet? Like, how do you not just drink the whole bottle?
Right.
And now I'm like, because
because I can't.
Because I'm not poor anymore,
right?
And I don't need to finish this bottle.
Right. I can just go pick up another one, and I'm okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, dude. Well, here we are in the second half. We made it, I think. I don't know. We'll wait until the podcast is over to really be the determiner of that. But we're going to talk music, dude. We haven't talked about music in a long time. As I said before in the beginning, it's been something that's always sort of bonded us. And I was just thinking about it leading into today's podcast. And I was just like, dude, we got to talk about music, because we went on a little rant about Silk Sonic. I think it was either when we recorded that. It was within the last month. I can't remember if it was after one of the holiday specials or what it was, but like we kind of went into a little rant, and it was off pod, and like we were just waiting for downloads and uploads to happen. And I was like, we should have just done that on mic.
Right. Yeah. Because it was like as soon as the podcast was over, for some reason it was like, oh, now that nobody's here, dude, Silk Sonic. It's like, I mean, wait, right? Why?
Yeah, it was like we were pretending that that's not a thing to like. It was like the NSYNC kids. I can't remember if you said that actually on mic or not.
Yeah, I think I did
in the first half, but yeah, it's like that.
Yep.
Like for some reason the mics went off, and it's like, okay, it's just us, right? Silk Sonic's cool. Yeah.
Right. Silk Sonic's badass.
What do you mean?
But there's no shame in Silk Sonic.
Hell
like
no.
I tell everybody. But it was just one of those things where like it didn't pertain to what we were talking about. So as soon as we were done, we're just like, hey, now that we're not talking about whatever we were talking about.
Right. There's something I've been meaning to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Dude, and then prior to the podcast, you had messaged me and said, Bootsy, don't forget about Bootsy. And I was like, dude, Bootsy's like on the record. If you actually look at the front of this featuring Bootsy Call, it's like a night of silk brought to you by Bootsy or something
Bootsy
like
Calls,
that.
Yeah, he's in a lot of the tracks.
Yeah, he opens it up. Have you listened to the CD from top to bottom, or the album from top to bottom?
Not in order.
Okay, so
but
in
I
order.
think I've heard everything.
I'm sure you have. So in order, and we'll get into more why I listen to it in order. It opens up and it's just this intro, and it's Silk Sonic background music, everything you think to expect. And it's just Bootsy. Well, all right, baby.
You're right.
And he intros it as like a show almost, like, now everybody get ready for a band that I named Silk Sonic. And it's like, what?
Right.
And that's why he's throughout the whole thing, because I guess Bootsy actually gave him their name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like, I heard him say it in that opening track.
Yeah. So you've heard
but
the
I
track
didn't
for
know.
sure. You just didn't know it was the intro.
Yeah. Yep. Because I heard. Well, I think it's even labeled the intro. So I just haven't listened to it like as a storyline like that. But I can piece it together.
Right.
Because they have that smoking out the window, and Bootsy comes in and he's like, oh, this love started off so sweet, but now she got me. And then the song comes in, smoking out the window.
Yep.
It's like, oh, all right. And he's just there for that like moment.
Right.
But like, okay, he's like the narrator of the CD.
Yeah.
And I got to turn down my. Oh no.
What happened? I can still hear you. Did we lose the feed again? Don't you?
We did not lose the feed. No, that oh no was like an internal thing that I didn't mean to say out loud.
Oh, okay.
I was just like,
you can't be doing that to me right now. After
I need to turn down. I need to turn down the alerts volume, but keep the other volume up.
Ah, yes.
Because I got some things to show you. Not a whole lot.
Yeah. Oh,
but
we're gonna be pushing the boundaries of YouTube here, I think, on this one. I don't know that
yeah.
I'll
Well,
play anything.
we got 15 seconds. I just got a couple of things that I gotta show
Oh,
you because I've been learning stuff recently. Like,
yeah.
I always knew it was a thing, but like when it's brought to light and you're listening to it in headphones,
Mm-hmm.
so you can hear every little bit better and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's like lots.
Oh yeah, it changes it for sure. Like even the podcast, there's been a few times where it's gone through my head that I was like, oh, maybe I should like look into the way that I edit this because and I say all that to myself and then I never do it. I just stick with it because I think it sounds really good because I'm editing it with the headphones that I have on for the podcast. You know, I have these like decent JBLs somethings. I don't know. They're over the ear.
Right.
And you know, so they're over the ear. They have some decent bass to them. They got nice pads, so they cut out all the sound. And I'm just like, ooh, are we not mixed right? Should I mix this a little different? Because I hear other podcasts and I'm like, no, dude, we sound good. Like, yeah, maybe we're a little bit on the quiet side compared to some, but like, I've our levels are good. Like, run us through a levels meter, and we're good.
Yep.
It's I don't know. Anyways, the reason why I say that is because it totally changes things when you're like using your headphones or listening to headphones and earbuds. And so, is that the way you're listening to music most of the time now?
Yeah, because my driving.
Oh, sure.
So I'm
Like at
listening
work.
to. Yeah, I got headphones in
Mm-hmm.
like all day.
Right.
So
Right.
when I'm at home, for the most part, yeah, still headphones. Like I don't listen. I mean, like it's either like I'm in my truck or
Yeah.
I'm doing something with headphones. Like when I'm,
Mm-hmm.
doing anything else, like I have TV on,
Right. Yeah.
some form of it.
Yep.
What television is today, some
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah. I was gonna say video on a screen is TV now,
Yep.
whether it be a
Yep.
tablet or a phone or a
Yep.
smart TV in the background.
Yeah. So I'm listening in headphones and I'm really picking up like all the stereo stuff. And man, I've
Oh
been
yeah.
listening to a lot of funk.
Yeah, dude. Me
And
too.
they love listening, like playing with the stereo.
Oh, do they?
It's just like
Like,
yeah, there's quite a bit of it.
yeah,
And
dude.
so I've been listening to Cameo.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Cameo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he cracks me up so good because
I'm pretty sure.
in my opinion, so you'll know who it is when I just say it because I'm not going to play you this one. I'm just going to tell you about it.
Oh, okay, good.
In my opinion, Cameo came out and was kind of like a normal singer to start off.
Okay.
And then he found cocaine. That's my thoughts because like his early work, like
Cocaine's
the
a hell of a
album
drug.
cover, he's always been weird, and his album covers like different pictures of like ladies or whatever where it looks it looks like there's like some Caesar thing up in the sky and it says Cameo and it's kind of like a cool album. The last two albums, the song Word Up.
Oh,
Word Up.
yeah, that's Cameo.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course I know
that's
who
Cameo.
is then. Yeah.
That album and the different one, they are the weirdest album covers where they're just like, that's the picture you went with. Cameo's got like his head down and he's got like this just like Gumby eraser hair. Like it's like a perfect flat top, but it's like tall too. And then he's got like the one guy next to him who's got a real mustache, but he's doing a fake mustache.
Why does that make me laugh so hard?
Dude, cracking me up too. I'm like, why are you doing a fake mustache? You have a real mustache.
What the fuck?
And then the other guy next to him is like looking off to the side, like the director told him something. And like, if here's the camera here. He's like just like slightly off to the side, like looking at the director, like, what are we doing? And it's just like, and there's one song that's called Attack Me With Your Love.
Okay.
And And the song is so okay, first off, here's part of my theory. He sang kind of normal in the earlier stuff that I heard. Mm-hmm. And then he started using his nose too much with the cocaine, and it kind of fucked it up. So then he's like, dude, everybody's like, you sound nasally. And they're like, we've always been a little bit weird. Let's just buy into the weird. Mm-hmm. And then he just like has a line, oh, you know, and they're like, yeah, dude, that's it. That's, we need more of that. And he's just like,
well, what's the word?
Word up. Everybody say. Wave your hands in the air like you don't care. It's the weirdest stuff. But the Attack Me With Your Love is like, it's a weird song already. He says a couple of things in there that are just like weird. Mm-hmm. But then it's like they punch it up afterwards with like a soundboard. And it's like, it's just like ad-lib noises and like random, oh dude, cameo and a couple other funk things. Love the bell that kind of sounds like a water drop. It's like boing, you know, but it's like a bell sound.
Yeah.
They just put that in randomly all over the place. Like if I were to make that beat, you know, back in the day we had that beat maker game that we would play on PlayStation.
Yeah. MTV and you beat would make generator that beat. Or something like that.
Yeah. And if I made that beat and I was like super pumped on it and I was like, dude, listen to this beat. I actually think I made a really good beat. Mm-hmm. You'd listen to it and then you'd be like, yeah, it sounds pretty cool, but you have a lot of unnecessary weird noises. And then I'd be like, yeah, that's actually not mine. That's Cameo. And somebody paid this man.
And they just ran with it. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I thought I was giving constructive criticism.
Right. And I'm just like, nope. That's a real song from the 80s. Up there. That's real. Maybe late 70s. I don't know.
Yeah, I think his career spanned those too.
Yeah.
I didn't go on that kind of deep dive. Well, actually, with the funk.
Well, I've just been listening to all sorts of funk, and Cameo came up, and then I was just trying to. He's so weird. I'm like, if the two songs, it's Word Up, and then damn it, what was the other one? He's got two songs that were on the radio
the other day. And that'll get into how I'm listening to music right now. But oh, dude, I can't. Think about it.
So just hearing those, I'm like, I need to hear what didn't make the radio. You know, I need to.
I've never listened to Word Up and then just been like, I should go on a deep dive on what did that guy really do. Like,
yeah, right.
It's such a great thought. So then, how do you do that? Like, what app are you using most of the time?
Oh, Pandora.
Okay, then that's what I thought. So then you just look him up and as an artist.
Yeah, so I just put in Cameo, and then it gives me similar stuff to Cameo because I'm like, Cameo's weird as shit. If you got stuff that's like Cameo, throw it at me, man. And then it just gave me like a bunch of like really popular funk from back in the day, and it became really evident how much influence funk had on the hip hop scene.
Yes.
Dude, it's crazy. You listen to stuff and I hear stuff sampled like nuts.
All day.
I'm like, that's that song. That's that song. That's that song.
That's how I got into funk. I would say I've probably been like listening to like going to whatever music player I'm in, going down, hitting funk and going to that. I don't know. I've been doing it for more than 10 years for sure. Like not too long after we graduated. Even I would be willing to say. And I didn't do it regularly until probably in the last 5 to 7 years. And I just let it ride. Like I know one day I was at work and I heard a funk song. Like I think I got it served by YouTube and I went, oh shit, that's insert rap song here. And I went over to funk radio, plugged in that song, and I listened to it for 2 days at work straight. Just rode out that radio station, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like every single time you hear the sample, you can just go, oh shit, that's on that Scarface song. Oh, damn, that's on that Fat Joe song. Like it, everybody, dude, everybody.
And funk is so weird that like some of the songs, even if I wasn't really feeling them to begin with, I'm like, nope, stick it out. Because all of a sudden there'll be like a left turn and they'll be like, and you're like,
yep,
that left turn was what they sampled. It was that moment where they must have just like heard it as a kid, like that part's dope,
right?
You know, so I'm taking just that part. You know, it's crazy.
It's kind of
that's.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and that's the thing with the Bootsy Collins. I don't have it queued up right now, but the Bootsy Collins, like, I heard the song not sampled, the song that it's pretty much is in today's day and age.
Yeah.
And then I got like right at the end, and the very last thing he says right before he fades out, like, just had me rolling. So I'm hoping that I'm not overselling it, but it caught me so off guard after listening to like 4 minutes of this, and then just to get hit with the joke at the end. You're just like, oh shit.
Okay, what is it?
Oh, hold on a second.
You're gonna cue it up?
I got a different song queued up right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So just listen to this. So this is, I don't even know how you say this. It's Mtume. Matumi. Maybe you just say it as the letters. It's not all capitalized, so it's like Matumi. I don't know, but the song's called Juicy Fruit.
Oh, Juicy Fruit. This might be. I might know the song. Go ahead, hit it.
I think it's pretty famous.
Yeah,
but
I think it is.
Listen.
Yeah.
So that sound. Do you recognize the background?
Oh yeah, immediately. I just jammed this song out last week when I was listening to funk radio on Amazon.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And right away I was like, you know very well.
Yeah.
And right away. Juicy.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. But that's a Biggie song.
Biggie. Biggie.
Yeah.
Juicy.
So that's
like he just named it Juicy.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. So he must have just went with it. So, like, yeah, if people at home aren't familiar, like, if you play the beginning of the song, right when it starts, I'm like, oh, and then it doesn't play Biggie, and you're like, oh,
right,
yeah. So it just starts.
Yep.
Yeah,
and right away you're just like, I got it.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as it starts, like I started it, and then there was no lyrics. That's what threw me off. Right. Because I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm like, it was all the dream. I used to be. And then I'm like, huh?
And then you're like, wait, I'm listening to funk radio.
Yeah. Why aren't they singing with me?
Right.
What's happening? Yep. So there's like a bunch of stuff like
that's
that.
The chorus,
that keeps happening.
The opening of Juicy Fruit is the chorus to Biggie's. They just turned it up. Like,
right.
They pitched it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And so do you know Bootsy Collins? So the song is called I'd Rather Be With You. And the album title and the band name is called, like, together, it's like a play on words. It's called Stretching Out in Bootsy's Rubber Band. It's so Bootsy. Just to be like, stretching out in Bootsy's Rubber Band, baby.
Yeah. Yes. Oh. And I've also wondered, it's like, this is definitely a big gray area for me, or like a big blind spot for me. It's like, does Bootsy have a record? Like, does he ever do his own records?
Oh yeah, this I'd Rather Be With You has 43 million views on YouTube.
And it's a Bootsy song. Like, it's officially like Bootsy Collins.
Yeah, it's his. Okay. Yep. And I had it turned down because I wasn't sure. Sometimes there's going to be ads. But listen to this and see if you recognize it, because I recognized it right away. It's not quite the same today in age.
Okay.
And if we get too much play on this, I don't know if they've legally paid for it, or if it's one of these where they're just like, oh my God, Childish Gambino owes him some money.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's for sure, because that's a real official Childish Gambino song. So yeah, no doubt that he sampled that and Bootsy on it.
I mean, it's not even a sample. This is
This is straight up the beat.
Yeah. My peanut butter chocolate cake with Kool-Aid. You know,
yeah,
it's like the same thing. So
yeah. Oh no, it's like 100% the same.
Yeah, I'd rather be with you. Okay, hold on a second here.
Is that Bootsy? Oh, what? Bring that closer to the mic. Bring that closer to the mic.
Listen. You see me, so you see me coming, baby, just coming all over you. I'm gonna stick my love in your eye, baby, so you can see me coming, just coming all over you. That's how he ends it. And I was just like, I was not.
Didn't see
come
that
on,
coming.
Turn down the volume. No,
didn't see that coming.
So
I'm not in the way.
The whole song is just like, I'd rather be with you.
Right.
You know, and then all of a sudden it's 4 minutes of I'd rather be with you. And then I'm gonna stick my love in your eye, baby, so you can see me coming all over you.
Like, oh shit.
I'm just like, oh dang, Bootsy.
You went there. Oh shit, dude.
Oh man.
Hey, so you said when you said you're listening, you usually got earbuds in? Like, are you earbudding at home? I know you are in the truck because you're like, I need earplugs in the truck. So it's either earplugs or earbuds, like easy choice. So at home, are you earbudding too?
Yeah, because my earbuds, I can turn on like their noise canceling or like ambient sound.
Oh,
so when I'm at home, like depending on what I'm doing, I'll put on the ambient sound.
Right.
So like I can hear my music, but it'll pick up any of the background stuff.
Right. Kick ass, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. pretty dope. But yeah, the stereo of that stuff is just phenomenal because they're playing around with it all over the place. Like there's just so many. It's so weird to think. Like I know that they have like actual bands.
Yeah.
So the bands are just like jamming out too when they were doing this funk, because funk bands are like 40 fucking people, man. It's so that makes sense that there's just like these long jam sessions too.
Yeah.
But some of it you're listening to it, and there's one song. I wish I would have wrote it down, but they're going and they just keep doing it over and over and over and over. And then like after they do that, they say like the line of the song, and it's very sexual. Like the whole thing is like, it was like, get it up or, lay it down or something. And they would like do that noise, say that part, and then it'd just be like, and it'd just be like going like back and forth between my ears. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Like, how did you get into a studio and you're just like the thought process of like, I'm just going to make a high pitched noise 7 or 8 times in a row. We'll say the tagline of the song. And then you guys just jam, and then we'll just in like post later, we'll make it go from like ear to ear.
We'll just do the pan left, pan right thing for a little while, and
just slap that bass, and we're just gonna get people like to just. You think we should have more lyrics and just be like, everybody's gonna be way too fucked up to listen to what. Let's just get them fucked up and play around with the sounds, man. They're gonna love it.
For real, there is a lot of that with funk. It's awesome.
I think that's what Cameo is too. Is like Cameo is just like weird ass shit,
right?
And
for the sake of being just like trippy.
Candy is his other song. I just thought of it.
Oh yeah.
Like Candy.
Okay, so that's it.
Oh,
yep. Have you ever watched The Proud Family?
No, I haven't even heard of it. I don't think.
Okay, so The Proud Family is a Disney show. So if you didn't have Disney Channel, you would never have heard of it probably.
Okay.
Because it's a Disney Channel cartoon.
Okay.
And so that was the song that was playing the other day. So I do a lot of, when I'm at home, I listen on my speakers on my computer, and they don't have a really good right and left. So when you were saying that, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like I need to stop listening on that, or I need to make sure those speakers, my right and left speaker, are actually working when I turn that on. And then I still got a decent like surround sound stereo system. Like I got 2 nice surround sound speakers hooked up for my right and left on my TV.
Okay.
So it's like a sound bar, but I have it hooked up old school through like a receiver, right?
Right.
But and a subwoofer. So the roundabout I'm getting somewhere with this whole candy thing is the little girl loves to dance, dude. Every single song, like click, and she's just shaking.
Nice, dude.
I love it so much. So a lot of times we'll come home, like I'll pick her up from daycare, we'll come home and I'll just throw on iHeartRadio, or I'll throw on Amazon or something like that through the Apple TV. And, you know, got the good, decent sound system going on. And I put on funk one day for us. And we're hanging out and she's jamming, and wife comes home and we start cooking. And all of a sudden it's just like, ow, ow. And I was like, hey, because she knows the Proud Family. Sarah does.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure the uncle on the Proud Family, the way he talks and is based on this guy. And so,
nice.
Yeah, because he talks like that. It's so funny. He's like, "Hey, Penny," like. And as soon as I heard him for the first time, I was like, I think that is. And I didn't understand. Like I wasn't putting together Candy and Cameo, and like I wasn't putting them all together.
Right.
Until fairly recently, when I finally heard Candy again, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and we had watched The Proud Family like a month before that. And it just like all fell into place here just before the winter started. And I was like, oh shit. It's just like, it's so funny, dude. If you get a chance to throw, like, I can't remember if he's in the first few episodes, but eventually the dad, it's Penny Proud, is the main character, right? In the Proud family. So it's her dad's brother, I think. It's either her dad's brother or her dad's sister. It doesn't matter. It's her uncle. It's Penny Proud's uncle. And he talked. You just gotta check it out, dude. It's so funny. I laugh every fucking time I hear him because I associate it with funk music.
That's awesome. And I'm looking really at the cast, and there's Bobby Proud is played by Cedric the Entertainer, and then Oscar Proud is played by Tommy Davidson. Tommy Davidson has a pretty high-pitched voice. He was on I think Tommy Davidson was like in Living Color, wasn't
he? Yeah. Tommy came from In Living Color. Mm-hmm.
And then Cedric, if you don't know who Cedric is, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, then we need to fucking get on some more
go watch the original Kings of Comedy. Is what you need to do.
Yeah, you do, for sure. I popped that on a couple nights ago on Netflix when I was doing Christmas shit. I just turned on Kings of Comedy in the background. Original Kings of Comedy in the background is great. Anyways, if they've shown the characters, the particular uncle, and I don't remember his name because I haven't watched the show a lot. The particular uncle always has a red hat on, some kind of red hat.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's great.
I was just thinking, like, both of those guys, like both of those actors, for sure know who Cameo is. Oh, and I bet they're just like, Cameo is such a weird fucking dude. I'm gonna do that voice for this part. Right.
Just walk into the audition. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Like, what? And for some reason, I have to, like, when I do it, my jaw has to, like, my bottom jaw goes super low. I don't know.
You gotta, like, open your mouth weird to make the noises. Yeah, it's
right. That is what it is.
Yeah. And the lyrics in his songs are even, like, they were just cracking me up. I know, like, and they're, like, not counterintuitive. They're like, God damn, what's when you like
they counteract
say
each
something.
other.
Well, when you say something and then you say like go against it right away.
Oh, like you just go again. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
He'll like say one thing and then say the opposite thing right after it.
Yeah. Right. Yep. And his album is called like The Single Life, and it's talking about how he's like with girls and like how he's like stuff, and it's just weird. And then in the Candy song, he's got one line where he's just like, "'Cause I'm real shy," and you're just like, "What?" Isn't your whole album about how you're like bringing home like
out there,
and you're just like, and I saw the album cover. You're not shy. You're weird as fuck. Nobody wears red leather pants that's shy. Don't look at me. You have red leather pants on and
I have a complex.
Top. You have a flat top haircut.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, okay. So to not make this just into a half hour, the funk half hour, because like, which is, it's so funny though, because I'm so glad that we've gotten to that point in our lives now, because we grew up on hip hop and
rock.
Yeah. And we're
metal.
Well, yeah, and metal too.
Well, metal. I mean, like I was being like more specific. Like it was metal.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure, I don't know about your parents, but like I grew up on rock because of my parents too. So like
I grew up on like light rock and weird shit. Like my mom listened to KS95. So like,
yeah,
I know like every song out there that's not
you know, like
country.
Yeah. You know, pretty much every pop song that it gets played on Midwest radio. That's just the general like chart toppers.
It doesn't matter what genre you're talking, as long as it's not country, I know what it is.
Right. Yep. But
I have a very broad. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying, like I just love that it like that happened to us, that we finally realized, like, wait a minute, hip hop. We know that hip hop's all about samples and stuff like that, and we just went back to funk and found it and like sort of discovered it in, you know, our 20s or whatever and into our 30s, and are just like, dude, we were missing out on this just because we grew up white kids. Like,
right.
We grew up white kids. When we finally could get our own music, we started listening to rap and grew ourselves up on rap and hip hop. And now we're just like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Yeah. And it's like, where was this? Like, I think I just would have had a happier childhood too. Because you just, you know, walking around the house, you just bow, bow, bow. You know, you just got like the bass line,
right?
And you're just like, yes, what this funk, like this electronic bass line, what is that?
Yeah.
And instead, like I'm sitting there, like driving to wherever I'm going, and my mom's kind of like, in the arms of the angels, and just like, Jesus Christ, man, it's like not a bad song,
no,
but
just depressing,
like the most depressing, like slow, boring shit. And you're like, okay, they're gonna turn it around now, right? We're gonna go to something else, and they're just like, and it goes to like Eric Clapton. It's like, if I see you in heaven,
right?
And you're like, and then you're like, that was a sad song, and then you learn about the song, and you're just like, oh, that was about his fucking kid dying,
and you
great,
yeah,
and then you get out on your own, and you hear, and you're like, yes, like, yes. Just random noises and stuff in the background. No sad, depressing storylines. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You're like, now I'm in.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, do you buy CDs anymore, or are you just like all streaming? Because like I have this like the backlog stuff, right? Like going back to funk and stuff like that. I'm not buying full albums or anything like that, but like Silk Sonic, I bought that on iTunes. Now I've streamed it a couple times on Amazon too, but like I bought it, right? Like I just bought it straight up because I like listening to records, especially like that, which I recommend you try. Like that record from 1 to 10 or 12 or whatever it is. It's pretty short. I think it only goes to 10. But it's got a sequence to it, and that's what I really love about records. And it got lost for a while where it was just like whatever, and I think it still is, even maybe even worse now, but not in the music that I listen to, not in the music that I buy. For the most part, it is like pop it in, you go from track 1 to track 10, and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, see, so no, I don't really buy anything anymore because this is crazy. And I don't know necessarily how it like works, but as far as like Pandora's money side, but I can listen to a full album like from front to back if I want to. All I got to do is like watch one ad.
Oh, shit.
They're like, watch an ad and then you can listen to it. And sometimes I'll get like 6 songs in and it'll start over. So I don't know if it's like a time limit or what, but most of the time I don't get through a whole. I'm so fucking ADD that I'll be like listening and I'm like 4 tracks in and all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, I wonder, is there a new podcast out? And then I like start listening to a podcast.
Right.
And then I'll be listening to the podcast and initially it sounded like a good idea. And then I start getting tired as I'm listening to it. And I'm like, no, I need to go back to music. Like, let's go.
Right. And you flip it over.
Right.
Have you been listening to anything new? I mean, besides Silk Sonic, because like Nas has dropped a couple records that I've been checking out. There's this dude Dave East that I found out about while watching a hip hop documentary on Netflix, but he's tied to Nas, so because I listen to Nas's last 2 records pretty regularly on Amazon, it feeds me Dave East, and like he just put out a new record too.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of that stuff, but I haven't really went to any of the new stuff because I like listening to new stuff, but there's something about the new stuff where I'm trying, like, it doesn't really work with my work. I'm thinking too much about stuff and I kind of miss a lot of stuff. And then by the time I know it, the track's over and I'm like, I didn't really hear a fucking word he said.
Right.
You know, like I was listening to the music, but only kind of like nodding my head to the beat and kind of catching bits and pieces.
Right. No, I got you, dude. Because like the 2, like Nas, Dave East, like the lyrical rappers, right? Like you do want to hear it. You definitely want to hear it. I know. We've done that. That's why I got like Post Malone and Doja Cat and shit like that in my feed now. It's because like when I need that just like zone out, I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna throw that on. Post actually got me because he did that country song that about fishing. Who did that?
He did a country song about fishing?
Dude, who is that? Brad Paisley. You've mentioned it before.
Yep. He did that song.
Post covered that song, dude, with a full country band live. Yeah.
Live, huh?
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
You gotta look it up, dude. It's really good. I was like, all right, fine. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I heard he was singing some country stuff. I like Post. Like that's kind of like the newer stuff where it's like I'll listen to the newer upbeat stuff.
Yeah.
Because I gotta keep moving.
Right. Yeah. And your job literally demands that. Like,
yeah, right.
So I say literally and because I'm just like, yeah, I guess I didn't have to say that.
So I like this stuff too, where like I need to be able to hear the words. I can't do mumble rap.
Yeah, like when it's so distorted that you're just like, it's so hard to
understand it. Like, so I know, like, coming off as like an old man here, every time you get to the new generation, but it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you have before that, you have musicians and singers that could really, like put on a show, and then their lyrics didn't really need to make that much sense because they had the instrument they're playing plus the instrument of their vocals, and it's like whatever you say, I'm into it because I just want to hear you. Like, I don't sing the fucking phone book. I don't care. I just want to hear this song.
Yeah.
And then you get hip hop, and hip hop's completely different. Dudes aren't singing. Like, there's an art to how they sing. You know, they got to sound right. They got to. Little side note: anybody that always talks about like, not necessarily cultural appropriation, but sometimes people say like, oh, they don't actually talk like that in real life, and they get mad. Nobody says shit about Be Real, and Be Real doesn't fucking talk like that, man.
Right.
You know, it's just like sometimes they just sing a little bit different because that's the artist in them. They're trying to make it different. So sometimes if you hear somebody that raps different than they talk, just let it be, because like, that's how they're an artist.
There's like no written rule in the book that says like you have to talk like you rap. It's just like it just became like poetry over beats, right? Mm-hmm. So then people were just talking, and then eventually it got more musical, and it's just like there's this evolution. You can't be mad at it. Like I can't be mad at it. I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's just because there's such thing as a rap voice doesn't mean that they're like a fake ass rapper. I mean, give it a rest.
Yeah. Just chill.
Yeah.
They're, they wrote the lyrics. It's an artistic choice that they're making to sound different, because let's face it, like if you heard them in their talking voice, it probably wouldn't sound as good.
Yeah.
If I were to rap and I came on just like I'm talking now and was just like, it was all the dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. You'd be like, what the fuck is this?
You're like, well, who's this guy with no fucking oomph in his voice?
Yeah. It's not going to be good. But to the initial point that I was making, like hip hop is all like lyrics and, being clever with it and play on words and stuff. And so then what the fuck is mumble rap?
Yeah.
It's a beat with a guy making like noises over it.
Making another beat on top of it almost.
Yeah, just making it.
Yeah, like it has its own pattern still. It has its own flow. But hip hop's always been about the lyrics and like bringing not always, I shouldn't say that, because it's been the DJ used to be the most famous part of it, but you know what I mean. You get where I'm going with this, not to get into like the deep weeds or shit.
Yeah, to me it's like having the ability to put together a flow.
Yeah.
But you're too fucking stupid to put together a rhyme. Yeah. And that's what I can't stand about it, where like they just put a beat on and then they're listening to it and stuff, and all of a sudden they're like, all right, I'm going in the booth. It's just like, and they're just like, it's just like, you didn't say anything. And those rappers themselves have, people have been like, what did you say there? And they're like, I can't even remember.
Yeah, because they're quote unquote freestyling.
Yeah, and it's like, you can't remember what you said. And somebody can play it back to you and you can't tell them, because you can't decipher your own words. You cannot tell what you are saying.
Yeah. I've never heard that from some of those from people who rap like that, but I 100% believe you that you've heard that you've seen that. We know we've listened to hip hop so long. We know that is sometimes how a song starts.
Yes.
Because you get in and you just go, you got a couple words and you just start flowing, and you're kind of just like, all right, I'm going to go in. We'll just get this one down, and then I need it because then I'm going to start putting words to this, because I know the flow that I need.
Yep.
And then they'll get in, and that's what they'll do. They'll just bop, ba-da-da-bop, ba-ba-ba-da-bop.
Yeah.
But use words that just come up because they're rappers. They have words in their head all the time, I have to imagine. Mm-hmm. And it seems like these people just started dropping that. I think Kanye did that one time. He just shadow dropped a song. Poopity poop, poop, poopity scoopity.
Dude, the whole fucking thing is like, it's a long song. Yeah. And that's all it is the whole time.
Right? Okay. So I'm not
poopity
crazy.
Scoop.
Yeah.
No, the whole thing is poopity scoop, scoopity poop poop, poop poopity scoop, scoop poop.
And I don't know if he was like making fun of people who just release songs because they think that it sounds good.
I gotta be honest. I think this is like his best work.
Yeah, because College Dropout, one of the greatest rap albums of all time, is off the radar now. Is off the record because he's gone off the record.
You can't speak coherently. I've completely went 180. I don't like when you make good songs with good lyrics. I've changed my mind. I said it out loud, and then I'm like, I'm stupid, and I need to switch right now. No, I was joking, but I do enjoy it because it makes me laugh every time. It's so funny. Every time I hear it come on out of nowhere, where you just hear boopity scoop, scoopity poop poop, boop poopity scoop, and you're just like, yeah.
You're like, sweet. Dude.
But at least that I know what he's saying, you know. I can hear the words.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. You make a good point. You make a really good point. So that I don't want to drag this on too long because I don't also know how long this fishing one's going to be based on all the technical shit we ran into. So
sure,
I just want to ask you, because I listen to a lot of local stuff. I still listen to a lot of local stuff. When Rhymesayers was coming up and blew up and got big and actually made a mark on the hip hop scene, it's like I was there, while all that was happening. That sounds like such a fucking humble brag. Like I didn't mean it like that. But the reason why I'm saying it is because, like they still, like Atmosphere just dropped a record a little while ago. I grabbed it. It's really good. They got Ciroc, female rapper they just put on. Lizzo came up in that scene. Not on Rhymesayers, but like she came up here in Minneapolis. And
sure.
I was just like, yeah. And Prov, of course. Yep. We've had Prov, you and Sam have listened to Prov for a while. I don't think Sam's on listening to Prov too much. I think
Sam's kind of off hip hop.
Yeah, I think he's off hip hop in general. Yeah, and I haven't really caught a lot of new Prov since Kaiser von Pound. Nope, Gampo. I haven't really picked up much since Gampo. What are you catching there? Because I just listened to that podcast you sent me, and
I got guns, strobe, money, hoes.
Okay, I know that one.
That's Squad Goals. Yeah.
So I catch it. I catch some of the singles, but I just haven't got an album in a while. I don't think he's bad. I don't mean that. I just don't. Actually, I think he's super, super talented. That guy can sing.
Yes. He can. Yeah, rap. He can really sing.
He can sing. He can rap. He's got great lyrics.
Yeah.
Great storyteller.
He's got a great voice. He's one where like he's got great lyrics because it's funny. Some of the shit's real goofy. Is kind of the part.
Yeah.
I like too, where it's just weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I like that too, where it doesn't. That's kind of like because he's got that instrument,
Yeah.
And the flow and everything. Like I can hear all the words, and
I like
some
that
of
he's
it's
like
silly.
I like that.
It's good.
Yeah. It's like on one record, you can get a drama and a comedy.
Yeah.
And they're both awesome. Like they're both technically sound really good songs. So it's not, I haven't purposely avoided them. I just, I don't know. It was one of those things where it's just like, I don't know. I guess this isn't for me anymore. I don't know if it's the sound or whatever, but still full respect for what he's doing. So I was just wondering about that because.
Yeah, I still go that route from time to time, but Pandora doesn't give me a whole lot of new stuff. I've been thinking about trying to find more of the new stuff, but I do. There's a Prov song that's got a I don't know if it's called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I don't think it's his song.
Okay.
I think there's other two people, but it's kind of it's got a cool beat. And then, like you said, he's got a good voice and he sings the hook.
Oh,
but
nice.
it's kind of like rapping, but he's singing.
Yeah.
But it's catchy. Like, chitty chitty bang bang. I don't know the words,
Right. But that's the flow.
Yeah, and
Nice.
it's got a cool beat. And I want to say it sounds like it's something like sampled from Zelda.
Oh my God. I gotta look this up.
I'm not 100% sure. But that's what it sounds like to me.
I'm
And
gonna try to find out. I'll let you know. Not that I'm like a super Zelda fan or anything like that, but if it's from the original Zelda or any of the new but
it is Prov. It's just his song.
Okay. I'm gonna check it out.
It says Prov featuring, God damn it. Stupid ass ad ran.
I was gonna say something
reading
ran in front of it, didn't it?
Because it's not a video. It says Prov Chitty Bang featuring Devin the Dude and Jaron Benton.
What? Devin the Dude?
Yeah.
No way, dude.
So
I don't know the other guy, but Devin
just
the
check this
Dude
beat.
came up with fucking Compton stuff. Is
that just me? It sounds like Zelda, right? Like even if it's not Zelda, it sounds like some Zelda.
It does. I'm not picking up that it's Zelda. I could be wrong. If you know in the comments if it's a new like a N64 Zelda or something, I didn't get to play those. I didn't play those.
Okay.
So maybe it's in that range, but that totally has. I get where you're going.
Yeah. So like that's a beat. That's a pretty decent song.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One thing before we go, dude. I bought my first album, like actual artist record. Dessa from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Singer, rapper Dessa. You probably know who she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So we love her. And she put out a new record over the summer, technically, like one at a time for 6 weeks or something like that.
Okay.
And then full record, extra track. So it's like a 7-track. Anyways, I bought the vinyl because it looks so fucking cool. They said it's made of Coke bottle plastic, like Coke bottle glass. You know how Coke bottles have that like weird, like blue green shimmer to them and stuff like that.
Yep.
And they said that's what it is, and I'm like, bitchin'. I don't have a record player, so I don't know. And then it said, don't worry, it comes with the MP3s, and I was like, okay, I'm totally getting it. Like,
right.
So yeah, I still buy physical media only to turn it into something digital. Like that's just the world we live in now. I will bet you I'll never play that record. Only got it because it looked cool as fuck.
Right. And dude, I've felt the same way. Like I just don't have like a good spot to put it. If I had a different house that was like everything I wanted it to be, you know, where I could have like a man cave and stuff, I'd probably be into more stuff like that. But right now I'm like, what am I going to do with it? Like just hang on to it so I can like move it to the next house or whatever. You know, like I don't know.
No, I hear you. I guess I gotta be honest. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it either. I have no idea.
Right.
I have a frame.
I mean, you got a nice display case.
Yeah.
You know, you could mount it on the wall. You got spots.
Yeah, you're right. I got a wall there.
I could hang it on the wall too, but that's what I feel like. It's just like my shit lit house. Like it just I have
like,
lights now, but it's all I have a light here, a light there, a lamp. There's a lamp behind me. It's all like manufactured. I don't have a single light fixture in this room. It doesn't make sense.
I got you. I know what you're saying now.
You know, it's
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so like what am I gonna do? Put it on the wall and then like I suppose I could like wire in some like weird spotlight shit that shines just on that. Probably look pretty cool. But like all that work to
but all that work for I got you, man. Yeah. I got you.
All See my wood paneling?
Yep.
Fuck my wood paneling. When we initially, you know, like you're kids and you're excited to get something that's yours, you're just like, whatever, we can just paint over it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that we can just find somebody with that same attitude to take it off our hands. Because it's just like, man, you think I'll just make it into what I want. And then you're like, that's so much work, time, and money. And you're just like,
effort.
Rather just, you know, I've been putting money into this, so now I have equity. Maybe I'll just use that to get something that's what I want instead of
like doing
trying
work.
to polish this turd.
Oh man, we better end it because we're gonna go longer on this than the whole podcast is supposed to be. Remember when we started? This was supposed to be an hour-long podcast, the Real AF TV podcast. Remember, you can find us REELAF TV. It's Real AF TV, real like fish and reel. Look for us on the social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're out there. Oh,
yeah.
realaf.tv/contact. Give us feedback on the show. We asked for it in the first episode of 2022. We're serious. We're looking for feedback. We're going to keep doing this format, the fishing and random take, for sure. But we want to hear more from you guys about, what to do, what we should talk about, all that fun stuff. But Patreon, also, join us there because that's where a lot of the changes and discussions will actually unfold due to the fact that we don't want to take up more time of people who just want to listen to the podcast. That extra stuff will be over on Patreon, which you already heard in the ad. So I don't know why I'm droning on about it here at the end of the podcast. Tim, what do you want to, I was just ranting on there.
I got one last thing to say because I want to keep everybody updated as we're going through this because we put out our list of goals for this new year.
Yes.
And because I am the back-to-back champ in my fantasy league, I will be making the ice fishing camera a reality.
Yeah, dude. You can go over to realaf.tv and see right there at the top of the page, basically, the goals are posted. You can just click on it. Keep us in check, community. Come on, fishers.
Yeah.
Keep us in check. Join us in the conversation. Oh, I know one thing. Whatever. We'll just start fading out here. Over the summer, to get back to the funk stuff, over the summer, there was a funk barbecue that got fed up